Alright, so I'm going to show you how to clean this cold air intake. This is the Mopar Cold Air Intake on this is a 16 Scatpack Challenger. It's got the 6.4 liter 392 motor in it. First thing is, if you're going to take the filter off, you can either use a flathead screwdriver or an 8mm socket. So I'm going to wrench that off real quick. Alright, so once you've got that loosened, you should be able to work the filter up out of here. Keep in mind that there is also a tube that is attached here that you're going to have to separate when you take it out. Also, be careful. These bend easy and they don't bend back into shape. Now, performance wise, it probably doesn't make a difference from a performance perspective, but if you're like me, I'm a show car guy. I take my car to shows. You know, I'll probably end up replacing this. It was bent by the previous owner, but you cannot bend those back into shape, and if you can, it's not easy and it doesn't look good. But just wanted to point out, as you can see, you know, it's loose. I need my other hand. I'm going to shake this loose and take this out of here. So I find the easiest way is to work this back until it actually pops out, and it's just on a hose, so it's back far enough that I can work it out of there. I guess you could take it all the way out if you want. And then once you have that out, you can try to work the air filter. You see how easy it moves. Just need to work that off of the little neck that's on here. Again, I'm sorry guys, I need both hands, so give me 1 second. So now there's a little lip you got to get it over, this right here. So once you've worked it off that lip, I find it easier to leave the clamp on there. Make sure you don't loosen it too much so that you can reuse your clamp. But now it is off and tight space, so you got to be careful working it out of here. So I found it easiest to, it was in there in this position, to once you get that one piece out over there, to turn it this way and then work it up that way is the easiest way to get it out, and it's out of there. So you can see I cleaned this roughly about 6 months ago, maybe 6 to 8 months. I don't drive a whole lot, but you can see that it's dirty. What I have here is a bucket of warm water with just a dab of dishwashing liquid in it. You're going to want to sit your filter down in the water. And I measured, you know, just about enough to get it down in the water without it reaching or coming over this line here. I'm going to let it sit for about 10 minutes. It's not as warm as it looks. It probably looks like scalding hot water. You can see the steam coming off it. But it's also a 20-degree day here in Columbus, Ohio. So I'm going to let that sit for about 10 minutes. Alright, so while my filter's over there soaking, just wanted to point out, you do not want to use this on the Mopar filter. It's not required. This is for a different type of filter. You do not need the cleaner or the oil. So just pointing that out. I've got this from a previous vehicle's cold air intake. Okay, so it has been 10 minutes. So now the next thing to do is to just kind of, you know, swish it around in the water to work some of the dirt off. I guess the purpose of soaking it was to loosen things up. Now in the manual for this, they claim you should do this twice. And then once you've done it twice, run it through. So you'll do a second bucket of warm water and dish soap, which I will do. Soak it for another 10 minutes, which I will do. And then you'll do a warm bucket of clean water. you know, to basically rinse the filter. And you can see there's, well, can't see much, but the water, you can see the water's dark, getting a little dark from all the dirt that was on it, and there's things floating around on the inside. So I'm gonna rinse that off a little bit, swish it around a little bit more, and then go get another bucket, and then I will come back in the video with a clean bucket of water. All right, so I'm back out here with my bucket of just clean water. See my filter. Still has a little bit of dirt up in the crevices. Maybe it would be a good idea to do this with a brush, but now it's in the warm water. Just gonna swish it around to rinse it. You probably don't need to see me do this for a couple of minutes. You get the idea. So I'm going to, after I get done with this, gotta let it air dry. So I'll come back out here in a couple of hours when it's dry and reinstall it on the car and finish things up. All right, so everything's dried up. Filter's as clean as I was able to get it this time. I'm gonna go ahead and pop it back into place. All right, I don't know how well this is gonna work with this little stand, but you can see I got the clamp back on there. So now, get the filter back in here. Work it in over top of that little hump that's there. Down, quick push. That's all lined up. Just twist it down. Get my clamp in place. Slide that back in, pause for the cause. All right, I got everything back in place. This little thing right here was probably the hardest part to snap in, which was easy. Got my 8mm. Tighten this thing back down. Finish that up real quick. Just hand tight. Maybe one or two quick little cranks. Voila, that's all it takes. This bad boy's ready to start back up. Filter as clean as I could get it. Again, maybe some brushes would help out. But that's all it is, man. Actual time to do this, minus all the steps in the middle. I mean, there's probably only 10 minutes worth of work max in here. I mean, it's easy to take off, easy to put back on. You know, it only takes a few minutes each time that you go to wash it. Just the longest part is waiting for it to dry, and the steps in the middle where you actually wash it. So that's all I got. Like, comment, share your experience. If you feel different or have any other tips to add. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter @whatever man. I'm gone.